creative peeps, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Leanne. Today this video is for Lindsay to show her custom story journal, but she said that it was alright if I shared it with you guys as well. So I hope you find this inspiring or at least entertaining on your Friday. So first let's talk about the cover real quick. This cover is an old book, obviously. Novels and Stories of Bret Harte, and I have sewn the 7 signatures into it. I added some book corners and made a collage on the front. The collage is also a pocket. Inside of the pocket is a vintage flashcard that I made into a tag here and added this beautiful charm to it. It's layered with a doily, some scrapbook paper, and this is actually an image from a Yale record from the very late 1800s, which I thought was pretty cool. So let's open her up. This is the story of Liz in the Journal of Liz. Liz was born on August 2nd in 1900. This is the astrological sign of hers, which is Cancer. So she just keeps that little card in there and some bits about her personality, traits, and signs as a Cancer. It is a tuck spot, and there's also a pocket here that she can keep little secrets in or reminders to herself. This is a picture of Liz when she was little. Liz got her name from her father on the same day that she was born, on July 2nd. The LZ-1 Zeppelin airship took flight successfully for the first time, which he thought was absolutely amazing. He saw it as a inspiration to everyone that you can do anything that you set your mind to. So in honor of that idea, he named her Liz, LZ-1, Liz. That's pretty cool, the background of her name. And on here he wrote Liz a little note. This is a picture of the original airship that flew that day. And it says, "Remember, you can do anything you set your heart to. Love, Dad." So she keeps that in there. This is a picture of her father and a fold-out. Liz, excuse me, grew up on a farm, so this is just a copy of a vintage receipt from the farm that she grew up on. This is a photo of the farm that she lived on there. There's Midori MD grid paper, there's Tamale River paper, just all kinds of stuff per usual. You guys know my journals. This is the other side of that receipt. Liz loves fashion in New York and always dreams kind of living the more lavish lifestyle. So she has taken a Sears and Roebuck catalog and ripped some things out of it and put them in her journal. So this is just a bunch of love seats and stuff. This is a photo of Liz when she was little and her sister and mother. This is a piece of a newspaper from the late 1800s. Vintage ledger. In here, in this envelope, is a piece from the original book. Obviously, growing up on a farm, she didn't have a whole lot of money, so she wanted to recycle as much as the book she could. This is also a picture from the book. It's a drawing of a girl in a beautiful garden, and it says she was like a picture. Here's more of these Sears and Roebuck catalogs. This time she is looking at jackets. And then she decided, well, why not try to go to New York if I can do anything? So here she is just, these are a couple different places that she is going to apply to, tailor shops and stuff. It's another piece from the book. This little envelope here is filled with punch tabs from the extra papers, so they coordinate with the journal very well. Here she is looking at hair switches. She wants to make sure that she can fit in with the current fashions there in New York. This is a copy of an old vintage letter, perhaps writing to her parents and seeing if it was okay if she went. This is a picture of her the day that she left for New York. You can see she is much older now. Another place that she plans on applying to. Some buildings. This is the hotel that she was staying at. At this point, she's been there for a few days, and she's getting kind of worried because it's costing her a lot of her savings, and she hasn't found a job yet. And then she found this card, and it says, "Exhaust all possibilities personally." So she took that as a sign that she wasn't maybe looking at all the different places she could apply for a job. She was really only looking at fashion because that's what she was interested in, but she didn't quite feel like she fit in with that crowd. So she did apply to a printers and stationery shop, and she got a job there. So this is their little business card. So she's working on her finances, having fun in New York, still lusting after her fashion, but she's kind of realizing while it's fun in New York, she misses her family a lot, and she's kind of thinking about maybe calling it quits and going back home. So this is her kind of doing out her her finances and reflecting on her trip. She did stay there for a few years. More just kind of cute imagery that she liked. This is a label. More just ephemera and beautiful papers. So now she is a little older. This is her now, and she met a gentleman who lives in her hometown, actually, and they've been writing letters to each other and talking about seeing each other. This is a picture of the man and his dog. These are some of the envelopes from when they were writing back and forth. And more of those envelopes. And then they decided to meet, so they met halfway in Boston. And this is the hotel they stayed in. So she kept the paper from the hotel that they stayed in. These are all real vintage pieces. They're just they're reprints of real vintage pieces that I own, which I think is really cool. And I printed them on coffee dye paper, so awesome there. So then she decided, you know what, I really like this guy and I miss my family, and I don't quite feel like I belong here, even though it's been fun, so I'm going to go back home. So she packs her bags and heads back home. This is her letter to her parents, letting them know she's coming home. And I mean, she had a great adventure, but as a Cancer, she's very family orientated, and she has a hard time blending in, and she just didn't feel like New York was her crowd. So this is a little kind of card where she'll reflect on her trip and getting back. This is also a pocket back here. And that is where the story of Liz ends for this journal. So I hope, Lindsay, that you like this story journal that I have created for you. I will list it in my, as a personal listing in my shop for you. For everyone else, I hope you enjoyed this and got some inspiration or found it entertaining. I will be announcing my date for my February journal release soon, so make sure you're following me on Instagram because I post updates there. But if you're not following me on Instagram, don't worry, I will also mention it in my Creative Week video coming up. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll chat with you guys next time. Take care, guys. Bye.